Hi, hello Internet. Isaiah here with Zara Reviews, and I want to thank you for tuning into my first in a series of videos where I will be blindly picking a Wii title, and hopefully the ones I pick aren't shitty, but I'm picking them at random, so who knows what the next one will be. The game I grabbed for this episode, well, you probably already know what it is after reading the title, assuming you read the title. But if you missed it, I'll be reviewing the game everyone knows and loves, of course, Sin and Punishment, Star Successor. Wait, what? You've never heard of Sin and Punishment, Star Successor? Well, that's all right. No one else has either. Now, the reason you never heard of this game, despite it being a Nintendo IP even, is that it's a sequel to a game that was never released here in the US. The first game, Sin and Punishment, was released in Japan for the N64 and only made it stateside in 2007 via the Virtual Console on the Wii. Today you can buy both games, the first and the sequel, from the eShop since 2015. So what kind of game is it? It's a rail shooter. It's not unlike the classic game, which many of you already know, Space Harrier. It's a similar setup. You're in the foreground. Yeah, you move left, right, up, down, and you just shoot at everything. Items are coming at you. It's a rail setup, so you can't really move freely through the environment other than kind of around whatnot. Okay, the storyline, sure. Well, it's a bit complicated. The simplest way I could put it probably is there's two universes, it turns out. One's like an inner space, the other is outer space. Kind of makes sense, sort of. I don't know. And the bad guys come from outer space to invade inner space, where there's multiple Earths that you get to defend. I think that's about it. I can make it simpler. You shoot the things that come on the screen, and there's not going to be a shortage of things to shoot. How about that? So, for a game that nobody's heard of, were there any good reviews? Did anybody like this game? Yes. As a matter of fact, everybody loved it. All the reviews praised this game. They were very positive for Star Successor, which is too bad, again, since no one else I know has played this game. All right, since this is a Wii game, let's play the game. Which controller combinations can I use? Can I use the Wiimote by itself? No. Actually, it'll work, but you won't be able to move across the screen. You can just shoot, and that's it. The Wiimote with the nunchuck, yes, that will work. The Wiimote with the zapper, yes, but it needs the nunchuck. Wiimote with a wheel? No. Well, I guess kinda, but no. Wiimote with a classic controller, yes, also works with the Pro controller, that being the Wii Pro controller. And here we go. If you have a Wii and it's the first generation of the Wii, the first run of them, they have the GameCube ports, you can use a GameCube controller. Yay! So that's a pretty impressive range of controllers. And anybody who is a waggle snob should be pretty happy. So how does it control? It controls amazing. Every configuration is spot on. Whether you're wireless or not, whether you're using the sensor bar, there's no input lag. Everything plays right like it's supposed to. If you mess up in this game, it's your skill, and you cannot blame the controls. But it is hard as balls. So there's that. All right, and how does it look? Well, it is a Wii, so we're running 480p if you have the components. If you don't, you're running 480i, so I feel bad for you. But if you take in consideration it's 480p and, of course, a less powerful system than the others at the time, it's not that bad. It does well with what it can do. It does play at a solid, what seems to be 60 frames per second. There's never any drop in the frame rate. It's not the best looking game on the system, but it looks good. The menu's kind of weak, but the graphics are sharp. The frame rate, again, like I said, it never drops. Even with all the enemies on the screen, all the firing, all the things happening, there's never confusion on what is what, and you can make out the differences between everything. If you lose track of what's going on, that's completely on you, not due to a lack in quality. My only complaint really on the game's graphics, again, it's an older system, and it was a weaker system at the time for what it was. There's some lack of detail in the character models. If you take a look here, you'll notice that the the faces look a little, but that's really only during the menus and the cutscenes anyway. Also, despite the lower resolution, text is always clear and easy to read. It's not too small, and it can be, in some other games, cough, cough, Xenoblade, cough, cough. So there's no problem running this on any size monitor and being able to read what's happening. Now, as far as the cutscenes go, some people like cutscenes, some people just skip them. I would recommend just watching them. They're not very long. They don't detract from trying to get to the next part of the game. Skipping them really won't impact the gameplay because, I mean, you're just shooting the heck out of everything. But they do help drive the story, and it's a pretty decent story, and it helps create a sense of urgency in the game. All right, let's talk audio. What do we have for audio? Well, again, going back, you're not getting Dolby Digital out of this. It's Nintendo Wii. You're going to get some stereo. You're going to get Pro Logic 2. That's as far as you go. There's some voice acting. It's not bad. It's definitely not great, but it's not bad. There's far worse in more popular games. Sound effects, pretty standard. Nothing really stands out. You got explosions, weapons, fire. None of it really stood out as bad, exceptional. It was there. It did what it needed to do. Now, a lot of guys who like import games, you go for the music. The music is fantastic. It's fast. It's elaborate. Really sets the pace for the whole game. But it does not overwhelm the effects during gameplay. It's not set so loud that you don't know what's going on. And of course, you can go through and adjust the volumes. The only downfall is there's no way to select the tracks. Like if you were in the menu, you can't just hear the tracks separately, so you can't record them to your system or to your computer or whatnot. So you only can hear the music during the gameplay. Okay, so after all that, do I recommend the game? Were the critics who reviewed the game right? Yeah, they definitely were. The good news is if you have a Wii U, like I said earlier, both games are available. Price points right now are the original is $11.99 and the sequel, the one I reviewed here, is $19.99. If you have a Wii or if you prefer physical media, Sin and Punishment currently sells for about $10 to $15 for a physical copy. So I definitely recommend it. What are you waiting for? Stop watching the video. Well, wait for the video to end. But after, go out and get a copy of it. It's a fantastic game. Everybody should play this. Thanks for watching and have a great day.